up guys, it's Robbi. Welcome to another Clash Royale video. This video is going to be a guide for using the spawner deck. I put the deck up on the top left. You can mix this up any way you want. I would recommend though keeping everything at least besides the fireball, and then try out some different strats and let me know what works. So the reason I have a princess as well as minion horde in this deck is to bait the arrows. So what I mean by that is I drop usually the princess first, and hopefully they use arrows on it, and if they do, I can follow it up with a minion horde, which should do a ton of damage if it's able to get to the princess tower. Second part of this deck is you should expect the enemy to drop some sort of troops in the lane that you have your spawns in. This is actually going to help you out quite a bit, because the more minions that the enemy drops in one single lane, the better chance you are going to have of having your spawners just clump up together and create a giant wave that pretty soon is going to be really hard to counter for the enemy. So right now he has another giant, and we are able to have clumped up a few more spawners, and I am going to drop in my minion horde because he just used his arrows. So just mention that as soon as he uses the arrows on your deck, drop in those minions, and look how much damage they're able to do to that tower. So now we have tons of minions spawn. We drop in a few more spear goblins, and this is going to be an easy triple crown with so many troops left up. He's just given up at this point. So another battle, this one we'll be able to see what the skeleton or the giant skeleton is actually going to do. I start out with my hut. I put it up in front next to my princess tower so those spear goblins can get in a little quicker. He does use a goblin barrel, but I am able to take it out fairly quick with those arrows. So now that I know he has a goblin barrel, I'm going to save my arrows for when he decides to launch that. Looks like he does have a poison, so I try now to not put my huts super close to each other, and I put it next to my king's tower so that if he does decide to use it, he's going to activate my king's tower as well, which should make it actually shoot his minions and anything else that he sends my way. So I do have my spawners. They're going to two separate lanes, and I notice I need to switch that up. So they're going to be going to the same lane pretty soon here, depending on which lane I decide to shove. So kind of just messing around here, just kiting troops away, and I decide that I want to start pushing in the left lane. So now everything's going to be moving to the left, and my hopes for this deck is that he's going to keep pushing the left side so that all of my troops will be able to clump up. So I'm going to wait to drop anything until that poison goes away a little bit, so I can continue to drop them in. And on this video, we're also going to be able to see the giant skeleton and its whole purpose to this. So drop it closer to the bridge. He does have an inferno tower, which should be able to counter it, but this should allow me to clump up my spawners a little bit easier. And it looks like the giant skeleton is almost able to get to that princess tower, but isn't able to finish it off. He does drop some guys on the back end. So Bomb isn't going to hit any of his guys, unfortunately, but the whole point of the spawner deck, as you can see, is it's taking his towers out little by little until you can finish it off with either a fireball at the end and arrows, or just get the last hit with some of your spawners. So right now he doesn't really have enough elixir to drop anything in, and we're still taking out his deck little by little. Minions against minions right now, and we're able to finish him off and do a little bit more damage to his tower there in the end. So his single inferno tower isn't going to really do much against these spawners, so he is having to defend with quite a bit of elixir by dropping in poison spells and anything he possibly can at this point. So his tower is going to go down with only 22 life remaining, and his deck really isn't playing out well against the spawner deck. I actually haven't lost much with this deck. It's very rare. If anything, it's going to be a draw. So he is, at this point, just kind of countering and trying to not get 3 crowned. There isn't really much he can do with 19 seconds left. But I suggest you try out the spawner deck. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it. And if you do any variation of it, just please let me know so we can try it out, and I'll try to post your variation of this deck on the channel. But thanks so much for spending some time with me today, you guys. I hope this deck helped you out, and go give it a try. Let me know how it plays out. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet to be entered in the May giveaway, which is going to be ending May 7th, for two $25 iTunes gift cards.